Congressman Robert Wexler of Florida today signing on as a co-sponsor of the Kucinich impeachment resolution. Other than that support, and in volume of mainstream media coverage today, Mr. Kucinich heard crickets. For more on the politics and the practicalities, let's turn to our own Howard Fineman, the senior Washington correspondent for Newsweek. Howard, good evening.
I'm tempted to say chirp, chirp.
Well, to that point, was this tree, did it fall in the forest and nobody was around to hear it?
Well, they're reading the whole darn thing again tonight, you know, under the rules, and they're going to have a vote. But in an exercise of due diligence, I talked to key people on the Hill on the Democratic side today, House and Senate, checked in with David Axelrod, Barack Obama's campaign manager. And even though Bob Wexler of Florida is a big Obama guy, the Obama campaign wants to have absolutely nothing to do with this. And neither Nancy Pelosi on the House side or Harry Reid on the Senate side has changed their mind. They don't want to have anything to do with it either. So the bill will be read. It will be duly consigned to the Judiciary Committee, where it'll never be heard from again. All
right, so but assess what this argument, we all know that this would be expected to backfire on the Democrats in the 2008 election, could cost them the House, could cost them the Senate, could cost them the presidency. Is there, what is the substance to that if this had been pursued? Now it seems to be an issue of time, but if this had been pursued a year ago, what was the practical expectation by the Democrats of what would happen if they impeached President Bush?
Well, they've not wanted to get anywhere near it, and now the reasons are that they want to focus on the economy. That's what the Democrats are geared up to do as they try to attack John McCain and the Republicans in Congress and in the state houses. Obama doesn't want to have anything to do with it because he's running to the middle, and there are some Republicans that he wants to try to get who may still like George Bush and who wouldn't want to see George Bush impeached. He can let somebody, Obama can let somebody like Wexler run wild on it if he wants to. They're not going to have anything to do with it. Had they tried it a year ago or two, I don't know. I think Jonathan Turley, who's a Constitution man, also knows his politics, which is the Democrats prefer to have George Bush out there as somebody they can attack politically on the campaign trail rather than turn it into a legal matter and get it all gummed up in the works of the Constitution. They're looking at it purely politically. George Bush has the lowest approval rating of any modern president. They'd rather leave him there than turn him into a defendant in the dock legally.
Well, obviously that ignores the argument that the country could go to hell in a handbasket before his term ends, and perhaps already has. But the one political history, recent history, when President Clinton was impeached, the Republicans not only hobbled the sitting president, but they seem to have succeeded in putting the Democrats on the defensive to the point that they would not even consider hearings on such a thing now, in the face of at least large volumes of evidence, if not overwhelming evidence. Yeah. It's almost as if the impeachment of Clinton, if you want to be utterly conspiratorial, and I'm not saying I'm doing it this way, but it reads its history, reading backwards, as if the Clinton impeachment was arranged to preclude the impeachment of the, completely malevolent Republican president who followed him. Did the Republicans achieve pretty much everything they wanted, they could have dreamt of, or maybe stuff they couldn't even have dreamt of, by impeaching Bill Clinton?
Yeah, well, I don't even think the most conspiratorial of them could have thought this scenario up. But it is true that we have about one impeachment in us a generation, it seems. And even though I've heard, as I travel around the country, people do bring this up. They do bring impeachment up, and they're not all wild-eyed liberals. A lot of constitutionalist conservatives are very upset at what George Bush has done. But I don't think we have the political will for it right now. And also it's complicated by war. Call it what you will, the long twilight struggle that we are said to be in the middle of makes it difficult for the Democrats to risk because they will have a president who would wrap himself in what's left of the flag of commander-in-chief. And at a time when the Democrats have a nominee who's got to show that he's tough, I don't think they want to take that on, even if they have a legal case.
Howard Fineman of Newsweek and MSNBC. Great thanks as always, Howard.
Thank you, Keith.